Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, I'm KingNido and today we're coming in from Anastar City where the Galaxy are hosting the Vilestone Breakers in our third quarter trial match as we have a look at this tale of the tape. These two sides both missed out on Victory Road last season, so they are making their debut in this match today, this best of 3 series, and they have one win over each other in their history, but somebody will need to get 2 today. So with that said, let us know in the comments below who you think is going to win. Will it be the psychic types? Will it be the fighting types? Let's go!
3, 2, 1, go!
And it is going to be Delphox starting out with Weirdy as that glare from Delphox on to Decidueye, who is in its Hisuian form, is going to be left paralyzed as it is joined by Great Tusk, who is going for the Fire Spin onto Weirdy here. That is going to trap it in that fiery vortex, but Weirdy is going to respond with the Sludge onto Great Tusk, which is not very effective. However, it does leave it with that poison status condition that is going to chip away at the Great Tusk's health. But the Decidueye with the super effective Earth Power onto Delphox puts it into knockout range thanks to that critical play as we start to see that poisoning taking effect on Great Tusk. Delphox such an easy target as that Fire Spin is also doing damage to Weirdy here on the field. Delphox is going to go with the Thunder, but it tries to connect with Great Tusk, who is part ground type, so that is not going to work, allowing Great Tusk to go with the Cosmic Power. It is going to boost that 131 base defense, as well as boosting that special defense in the process. Weirdy, however, with the Air Slash, capitalizing on that fighting typing of Great Tusk, it's super effective. However, Decidueye responds with the Psychic Noise. However, it's not enough to get the elimination of Delphox with that not very effective move. However, it does prevent Delphox from healing, and I'm sure that Great Tusk wishes it could heal right now because it has been put into knockout range thanks to that poisoning as that Fire Spin continues to do that chip damage to Weirdy. Delphox is going to go with the Withdraw. It is going to boost its physical defense, but it is such an easy target right now. That is a waste as Great Tusk looking to capitalize, goes for the Sandsear Storm, but Delphox is able to get out of the way. However, Weirdy, not so fortunate, takes some great damage there from the Great Tusk, but Weirdy responds with the Dragon Rush, going for Decidueye, taking its first damage of the matchup, and it continues to shake off this paralysis to go for the Baton Pass. Fortunately for its teammate, it is not going to give that paralysis to who comes out in its place, and that is Quaquaval coming out onto the field, dancing away as its teammate is feeling the effects of that poisoning. Maybe Quaquaval should relax a little bit, although if this gets it into the action, it may be what the Breakers need, as Delphox is no longer prevented from healing. It's able to go for the Leafage to finish Great Tusk off, and finally an elimination has taken place, putting the Anastar Galaxy in the early lead. However, Quaquaval is going to go with the Slam to take Weirdy out of this match, bringing that leg down hard onto the normal Psychic type as the Decidueye does return to the field. It is going to be Hisuian Bravery coming out for the Anastar Galaxy, and it's the Leech Life from Delphox onto Decidueye, trying to get any health back, but it is still in knockout range as Quaquaval is going to go with the Charm, not going for the easy elimination. Instead, it is going to lower that physical attack of Braviary, who is going to respond with the Power Whip. Not very effective on the grass type Decidueye there, getting in some good chip damage there, but it responds with the Burning Jealousy, not enough once again to take Delphox out of this matchup, who responds with the Tail Slap on to Quaquaval, this multi-hit move. And it is only able to connect 2 times, allowing Quaquaval to respond with the Thrash to finish off Delphox, taking it out of this match, putting the Vilestone Breakers in front for the first time, as Bravery with the Hypnosis is going to put Quaquaval to sleep here, and it is still dancing in its sleep. Nothing will stop this Pokemon as the Decidueye is going to go for the final Gambit. It will take itself out of this matchup and does very little damage to Braviary in the process, as we are all tied up once again. It is Metagross coming out for the Anastar Galaxy. It is Infernape coming out for the Vilestone Breakers, and immediately Infernape with the Glare onto the powerhouse. Metagross is going to leave it with that paralysis, so it will be slowed down and it may be unable to move. But speaking of unable to move, Quaquaval is snoozing away there with those tapping feet on the field as the light screen from Braviary is set up, making the Galaxy stronger against special moves. Metagross follows it up with the Court Change down there on the field. Switching those battle effects as Infernape is going to go with the Crab Hammer, getting in some good damage there on the Steel Psychic type, but Quaquaval is still fast asleep, leaving Infernape to have to do all the work by itself. Bravery looking to capitalize, goes with the Flash Cannon onto Quaquaval. Not very effective though, but Metagross is going to follow it up with the Present there, getting in some great damage thanks to that critical play being gifted to Quaquaval, but it's the Mountain Gale in response from Infernape, super effective onto Bravery, putting the Breakers once again back in front. But with that said, Quaquaval is still fast asleep on the field. Metagross could capitalize and immediately level the playing field here. It is going to go with the Swagger instead. However, that is avoided by the Dancing Sleeping Pokemon, and out comes Exeggutor in its Cantonian form, and it's immediately on the receiving end of a Scale Shot from Infernape here. This multi-hit move, it will lower those defenses of Infernape as well, and it's already got full speed control in this matchup as Quaquaval is finally able to wake up, and it is going to go with the Dragon Hammer onto Metagross. Not very effective though, allowing Exeggutor to capitalize by going with the Acid, eliminating Quaquaval from this matchup, and the playing field once again is level between the Brains and the Brawn, but Metagross follows it up with the close combat onto Infernape, and Infernape is able to hang on as those defenses do get lowered of Metagross, both physical and special, and it will be another firefighting type coming out. Ambor joining Infernape with the Smog, but it goes for Metagross, who is immune thanks to that Steel typing. However, Ambor is going to go with the Flare Blitz and go straight through Exeggutor to eliminate it from this matchup. There is going to be some recoil damage for Ambor, but once again the Breakers are back in front in game 1 of this best of 3 series. Metagross though with the Aeroblast, a massive super effective move to finish off Infernape. You have to wonder if that may have been a little excessive or if it should have gone for Ambor instead, but we are down to a 2 versus 2 matchup as that light screen wears off. It is Mienshao coming out for the Vilestone Breakers. It is Armourouge coming out for the NStar Galaxy. Mienshao with the Mighty Cleave, immediately super effective there on to Armourouge with that weak armor ability as well, having its defenses low, but does get that speed boost, allowing it now to go and set up for the Solar Beam. It is going to absorb the light on this turn, but Ambor could actually capitalize and eliminate its fellow fire type. It goes with the Gigaton Hammer this time on to Metagross. Not very effective, but still gets in massive damage. Who responds with the Grassy Glide onto Mienshao, gets in some good damage there, but that Solar Beam will be finished off from Armourouge onto its fellow fire type. It's not very effective, it should have known better. Mienshao looking to capitalize, goes with the Sacred Fire and melts Metagross out of this match. And Ambor with the opportunity to follow up goes for the Disarming Voice on to Armourouge, putting it into knockout range, but Armourouge is going to respond with the lock on. It is going to focus in on to Ambor, but whilst it's focusing in on Ambor, Mienshao is going to go with the high jump kick, and it lands that risky move to eliminate Armourouge and give the Vilestone Breakers game 1 in this best of 3 series. And that was so back and forth. We cannot wait to see what game 2 brings here, as NStar Galaxy are going to start out with Iron Valiant and Frugraph. It will be Komaro and annihilate the tag team of the Vilestone Breakers, but it is Iron Valiant, the Terrestrial draftee of the NStar Galaxy, leading them into battle against these two. And just with that first game, we have to catch our breath, but with that said, Iron Valiant does have speed control, immediately goes for that not very effective Fury Cutter onto the part Dragon type, and this allows Annihilate to try and capitalize with the bind onto Frugraph. Not going to do much damage to start off with, but it will be doing that passive damage as it does squeeze Frugraph. Komaro follows it up with the double team. It is going to boost its evasiveness here, making it a much harder target for the NStar Galaxy to hit, as Frugraph does go with the Jaw Lock there onto Annihilate. Gets in some good chip damage, but it is that bind squeezing away there at Frugraph down there on the field. And Iron Valiant is going to go with the Whirlwind, trying to separate the tag team. They send Annihilate to the bench, and out in its place, it is Ambor returning to the field in game 2 here. Komaro though with the headbutt, continuing on the offensive of Furgraf, who goes and sets up the Aqua Ring nice and early, surrounding itself with that Veil of Water. It is going to start having its health restored to try and keep itself in this matchup as Iron Valiant continues on the offensive, this time with the Rapid Spin onto Kommo-o, and it gets that speed boost, trying to maintain full speed control as Kommo-o does respond with the Power Gem onto Iron Valiant. Gets in some good damage there as well, but Furgraf is going to respond for its side by setting up the Reflect there, making them stronger against physical moves, and the Bilestone Breakers, they are one of the most physical sides you can get. As some great damage there from Ember onto Furgraf, but Furgraf still having that health restored thanks to the Aqua Ring allows Iron Valiant to go with the Seed Bomb this time. It is going to be resisted though by Kommo-o, who is going to go with the Soft Claw, so now it's going to be restoring its health, trying to get itself back to full strength, and it will be successful in doing so. Furgraf, however, with the extra sensory, and it is a one-hit wonder. That's super effective critical play on Kommo-o thanks to it getting itself back to full strength, making it that one-hit wonder. But the Sky Attack is being set up by Amber. It does get cloaked in that harsh light as we see those wings take flight. The Anastar Galaxy once again getting that first elimination in the matchup as Annihilate returns to the field and its tag team partner has been eliminated. It is on the receiving end of the pin missile from Iron Valiant. This is not very effective, only connecting for 2 strikes there, as well as Annihilate is looking to respond with the triple arrows onto Iron Valiant. Responding with its own not very effective move allows Furgraf to go for the main look here onto Ember, who is going to make it so it can no longer escape, but it is not looking to run away. Instead, it wants to finish off this Sky Attack, almost eliminating Iron Valiant, who is able to hang on by a thread as Furgraf still having its health restored thanks to that Veil of Water. Iron Valiant with the Bullet Punch now onto Annihilate, chipping away at the part Ghost type, who does go for the Assurance. Super effective to eliminate Iron Valiant from this matchup, and these sides are so hard to separate on the board right now as it is currently a 5v5 match. But Furgraf goes for the Thrash, getting massive damage onto Ember, who is going to respond with the Topsy-Turvy, but that is going to fail. And still having that Veil of Water be a huge asset to the Anastar Galaxy at the moment. It is Bronzong coming out for the Anastar Galaxy. Annihilate immediately meeting it with a Slash, but that's not very effective on the part Steel type. And this allows that Thrash to continue on to Ember, once again putting the Anastar Galaxy back in front, getting that all-important elimination. And Bronzong has an opportunity to follow up, but Furgraf is going to be left in a confused state due to the fatigue, as Bronzong here with the Stuffed Cheeks, it is going to chow down on that Leopard Berry, but it also boosts that 116 base defense as that health continues to be restored for Furgraf. It is a hard task right now for the Breakers to take down these 2 members of the Galaxy, as out comes Gardevoir, the Veilstone Breakers' own Terrestrial Draftee. We almost saw a collision between Gardevoir and Iron Valiant. They were that close to being on the field at the same time. But we are about to see the special attacking Pokemon of the Veilstone Breakers enter this match, but it is the tea time from Annihilate that is going to allow everyone to chow down on their Leopard Berries. And whilst they're doing so, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, please leave a like, share, subscribe, help the PokeType League and this channel grow so that we can have this happen for many seasons to come, as we are in the early stages of Victory Road to the charge from Gardevoir. It is going to begin charging power here in this turn, boosting that special defense, but if we see it go for any electric type moves, that could be powerful, as Furgraf needs to shake off this confusion, but it is unsuccessful, doing damage to itself down there on the field. Bronzong looking to do its part though, is going to try for the Aurora Veil, but it is not snowing over the field, so that is going to fail. But that Veil of Water is not failing for Furgraf, as Annihilate with the Esper Wing continuing with this not very effective damage on the Steel Psychic type, but it does get that speed boost in there for Annihilate, as Gardevoir is going to follow it up with the Psychic Fangs, chipping away very, very slowly at Bronzong. As Furgraf snaps out of its confusion, it goes for the Draining Kiss, once again having its health restored, this time taking it from the Terrestrial Draftee with that super effective move. And Bronzong is going to follow it up with the Wave Crash onto Gardevoir there, getting in some massive damage, a bit of recall damage there for Bronzong, doing more damage to itself than what the Breakers seem to be able to do to it at the moment, as that health continuing to be restored for Furgraf. The Grassy Glide from Annihilate there, getting in some chip damage onto Furgraf. Gardevoir looking to follow it up, goes and sets up the Perish Song, and this is normally a very questionable play, but this may be the only way that they can get Bronzong and Farigiraf off this field, as Farigiraf with the smackdown puts Gardevoir into knockout range, and Bronzong follows it up by setting up the acupressure for Farigiraf, boosting its evasiveness a great deal, and that health continuing to be restored. But we know now that Perish Song, that Perish count falling to 3, this could be a brilliant play for the Breakers to get these two Psychic types off the field. And Annihilate is going to bring down the Thunder on to Bronzong there, but it only gets in some chip damage, and the workup follow-up from Gardevoir boosting its physical attack as well as that special attack, but it is such an easy target right now. Farigiraf could finish it off. It goes for the Malignant Chain, but instead it goes for Annihilate. Not very effective, still gets in some good chip damage, but it leaves it with that poison status condition, that badly poisoned, so it is going to get progressively worse with every turn, and the slack off from Bronzong now, so it's going to restore its health, almost getting itself back to full strength, and more health being restored for Farigiraf, as well as that poisoning is starting to afflict Annihilate down there on the field. That Perish count is going to fall to 2 for everyone on the field, and again it just seems like Gardevoir made a very intelligent play to ensure that these two Psychic types on the Anistar Galaxy do get eliminated. The Fairy Wind from Annihilate doing very little damage there to Bronzong, even with the critical hit. Gardevoir following up with the Psyblade, but that is going to be avoided by Farigiraf with that boosted evasiveness, as Farigiraf responds with the Psychic Noise to eliminate Annihilate with that super effective move. The Anistar Galaxy are in full control, as Bronzong is going to go for that Corrosive Gas, but that is not going to work on Farigiraf or Gardevoir, thanks to having already chowed down on their Leopard Berries. And there is that Perish count now falling to 1. They have 1 turn left. Do the 3 Pokemon currently on the field, as out comes Great Tusk for the Vilestone Breakers, and immediately it is going to go for the Psychic Fangs, once again doing very, very little damage there to Bronzong. Gardevoir follows it up here with the Aqua Cutter, but Farigiraf avoiding more moves, as it is going to go for the Gigaton Hammer, intelligently getting some damage on to Great Tusk. Bronzong follows it up with the Sparkling Aria, also getting some damage onto Great Tusk, super effective as well, and that couldn't even take out Gardevoir, who's able to hang on by a thread. Farigiraf does have its health restored, but that is irrelevant because that Perish count falls to 0. First for Gardevoir, it is going to be eliminated, but it is the one that set up this Perish Song that is finally going to take down both Bronzong and Farigiraf for the Vilestone Breakers, keeping them in this match because it seemed like there was nothing they could do to take out these two Psychic types. The Breakers are at a 2-3 disadvantage, but they do have that game 1 victory, but they want this second one to get this series over quickly. It is going to be Hisuian Decidueye coming out for the Breakers. It's Hisuian Braviary coming out for the Galaxy, and it's going to be joined by Metagross, as Great Tusk is going to go for the Chloroblast. Does very little, not very effective damage to Braviary, but the recoil is going to take out Great Tusk from this matchup. This is terrible for Decidueye, as the Petal Dance here from Metagross, not very effective, gets in some good chip damage onto Decidueye. It's followed up by another Flash Cannon from Braviary. Great damage there onto Decidueye, who does go for the Power Trip onto Braviary here. Super effective, but actually doesn't do that much damage, as that Petal Dance continues from Metagross onto Decidueye, and Braviary follows it up now with the Magic Powder, but it is part Grass type, so Decidueye is immune to those powder moves, allowing it to go for the Shadow Claw now onto Braviary, putting it into knockout range, but that Petal Dance continues from Metagross, putting Decidueye into knockout range. This is going to leave Metagross confused due to the fatigue, but Braviary could finish it off here, get that game 2 for the Anistar Galaxy, and the Air Slash is going to finish Decidueye off. And just like that, the Anistar Galaxy have leveled the playing field at a game each in this best of 3 series. And whoever wins this matchup will move on to our semi-trials. It will be Komaro, joined by Gardevoir. It is going to be Farigiraf joining Iron Valiant, and the 2 Terrestrial draftees are on the field at the same time, going head-to-head, face-to-face. Iron Valiant taking on that Psychic typing the Gardevoir is very familiar with. Gardevoir is going to take on that Fighting typing that Iron Valiant is all too familiar with, but this matchup is anybody's to take in the history of these two going head to head. They now have 2 wins over each other. This will put the other in front of them, but also continue their season, whereas the other one will be eliminated from victory road. Iron Valiant, though, is going to go for the Lumina Crash. This will be super effective, but it goes for Komaro, getting in massive damage there onto the Powerhouse Dragon, lowering its special defense in the process. Komaro, however, is going to respond with the Encore. I don't think it wants any more of that, though. Unfortunately, that will fail, as Gardevoir is going to go for the Power Whip, going for its fellow Terrestrial Drafter, getting some great damage there, as well as Furugraph is going to go for the Throat Chop onto Gardevoir. Not very effective, as Iron Valiant is going to follow it up with the Thunderclap, but that will fail. This opens the door for Komaro to try and capitalize, as it is going to go with the Horn Drill, and it connects for the Oko for the one-hit wonder, immediately putting the Ballstone Breakers, getting the first elimination for the first time in this best of 3 series. The soft boil follow-up from Gardevoir is going to get itself back to full strength, and it is going to be weird coming out for the Anastasia Galaxy. Iron Valiant, with the Infestation, continuing to focus in on Komaro. Clearly doesn't want to deal with Gardevoir at the moment, as Komaro is afflicted with that Infestation. It is going to go for the Withdraw, but it is such an easy target. It is in knockout range right now. Gardevoir, with the Poison Powder, it is going to leave Weirdy with that poisoning, doing that chip damage to the normal Psychic type. And Weirdy is going to go for the Magma Storm here to get that easy elimination of Komaro, with that not very effective move to level the playing field. These sides still continuing to barely be separated, as it is once again a 5v5 matchup. And coming out for the Ballstone Breakers, it is going to be Crocodile onto the field, as Iron Valiant is going to go for the Lunar Blessing. Very intelligently, it is going to cure Weirdy of that, not that paralysis, that poisoning, whilst restoring the health of both Psychic types there at the same time. Crocodile is going to go for the Screech onto Weirdy. It is going to greatly lower that physical defense, as Gardevoir follows it up with the Mega Kick, continuing to go for Iron Valiant. More great damage. Weirdy with a Thunderclap of its own, but again, that is going to fail, leaving Iron Valiant to have to do its part. It goes with the Haze down there on the field, continuing to not want to go for Gardevoir, eliminating all stat changes. Crocodile is going to go with the Aromatic Mist, looking to help out Gardevoir by boosting that special defense, and Gardevoir is going to go with the Yawn, continuing to go for Iron Valiant, trying to challenge it here, causing Iron Valiant to grow drowsy. Weirdy sets up the Misty Terrain on the field. Surely no one is going to want to go for any Dragon type moves whilst that is in effect. And Iron Valiant sets up the Ingrain, planting those roots, trying to ensure that it continues to have its health restored, as Crocodile is going to go with the Guillotine, but that one will be avoided by Iron Valiant, as Gardevoir is going to go with the Dark Void, and this Dark Presence over the field is going to prevent that from working, allowing Weirdy to set up for a Sky Attack. It becomes cloaked in that harsh light as those wings take flight, and there is that health beginning to be restored for Iron Valiant thanks to the nutrients in those roots. And that Yawn will not work thanks to the Misty Terrain, and it finally, with the Charge Beam, doing a little bit of damage to Gardevoir. Crocodile with the Misty Explosion, and Crocodile takes itself out of the matchup. It almost eliminates Iron Valiant, putting it into knockout range, but it was super effective on its teammate here, who goes with the Amber, not eliminating Iron Valiant, instead going for Weirdy, who responds with the Sky Attack to eliminate Gardevoir from this matchup. Gardevoir has been taken out, and just like that, the Anastasia Galaxy have the 5-3 advantage in our game 3 as they look to advance to the semi-trials, and there is that health being restored for Iron Valiant thanks to those roots. It will be Infernape coming out for the Breakers, and it is going to be joined by Myantia. Iron Valiant, though, still with the speed control, immediately the Moon Blast onto Infernape. Massive damage being done there, lowering the special attack of the part Fire type, who does respond with the Recover, very intelligently taking massive damage. Well, that part wasn't very intelligent, but restoring the health after taking massive damage. Myantia with the Wild Charge gets that easy elimination of Iron Valiant, and the Breakers needed to get that one on the board. And And that sunlight, that daylight now reappearing over the field here in Anastar as Weird is going to go with the entrainment on to Infernape. A very questionable play because it gets rid of that Blaze ability and gives it the Sap Super ability, so the Galaxy don't want to go for Grass type moves onto Infernape, as it is Bronzong coming out for the Galaxy, and Infernape immediately meeting it with the Bitter Blade, almost getting that elimination. It is going to restore its own health in the process, but Bronzong hangs on by a thread. My Enshell could finish it off. It goes for the Freeze Strike, but instead it goes for Weird. It gets in some good damage, but Weird is going to respond with the Psycho Cut, super effective, and it takes my Enshell out of this matchup. And the Breakers are down to their last two Pokemon, as that Burning Bulwark is going to fail from Bronzong. The mist will disappear from the battlefield, and it is going to be Annihilate, coming out for the Vilestone Breakers, as the Scorching Sands from Infernape eliminates Bronzong, and this time the Breakers knew how to handle Bronzong in this match. Annihilate looking to follow it up, goes for the Gastro Acid. They are going to suppress that Sap Super ability of Weirdia. They can hit it with Grass type moves now, as Weirdia is going to go with the Hyper Voice, but it goes for... when it goes for Annihilate, but it doesn't work. It is immune, but it does connect on Infernape, as out comes Delphox immediately going for the Whirlpool, but that is going to be avoided by Infernape, allowing Infernape to go for the Aurora Veil, but it is still not snowing here in Anastar, so that is going to fail. However, Annihilate is going to go with the Flatter on to Weirdia. This is a risky play because it will boost that special attack. However, it does leave Weirdia in a confused state, so it may be doing damage to itself there on the field. And this is that moment that Weirdia needs to shake off that confusion, but it is unsuccessful, putting itself into knockout range. Delphox needing to do its part. It is going to go with the Heal Pulse. This is terrible because it is going to restore the health of its fellow Fire type, who's on the opposing side, allowing Infernape to go for the Struggle Bug, and this will eliminate Weirdia from this matchup. It lowers the special attack of Delphox, and we are down to a 2 versus 2 matchup. Annihilate does look to follow it up as well with the Flying Press, getting in some great damage, especially for a not very effective move. It is Exeggutor as the last Pokemon to the Anastar Galaxy. Delphox going with the role play. Everybody is getting new abilities here, as it loses that Magician ability and gets the Vital Spirit from Annihilate. Infernape with the Overheat onto Exeggutor, and Exeggutor hangs on by a thread, lowering the special attack of Infernape in the process. Annihilate following it up with the Heat Wave to connect with both Psychic types and eliminate Exeggutor from this matchup. The Vilestone Breakers have just taken the lead. And Delphox is going to go for that Sweet Kiss on to Annihilate, that is going to leave the Ghost type confused there on the field, wondering why the Psychic type is planting that Smooch, but it is the String Shot now from Infernape that is going to greatly lower the speed here of Delphox, trying to give full speed control to the Vilestone Breakers, but Annihilate needs to shake off this confusion first, and it is successful in doing so. It's going to go for the Magical Leaf. This will be resisted by Delphox being a part Fire type, but Infernape now, being the quickest on the field, goes for the Hyper Beam, but it has that lowered special attack, so Delphox is able to hang on in knockout range. Annihilate needs to shake off this confusion and get that elimination for the Breakers to move on. It's successful in shaking it off. Goes for the last resort though. This is going to fail. This is going to open the door for Delphox to try and capitalize. It goes with the Skill Swap, more ability switching in this matchup, as it is now going to get that Sap Super ability. We have two Vital Spirit Pokemon on the side of the Breakers, the two Apes, the two Fighting Apes, but Infernape has to recharge, and there's that confusion on Annihilate. It needs to shake it off once again, but this time it is unsuccessful. It does damage to itself, and this again opens the door for Delphox to try and capitalize. It goes for the Torment though. This is fantastic. This is great for Infernape because it is going to be subjected to that Torment, which forces it to struggle on the field, which means it goes on the offensive and it gets the elimination of Delphox, and the Vilestone Breakers have worked their way back from a 4-2 disadvantage here in Game 3 to win this matchup, and they will be moving on to the semi-trials. That is the end of the Anastar Galaxy season, whereas for the Vilestone Breakers, they will be facing the winners of the Lava Ridge Flare versus the Eterna Devons. But with that said, Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field, and if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I'll see you when you see me.